If you're allergic to nail glue and you need to avoid it getting onto your skin when you press the press on down, or even if you're not allergic and you're just so sick of having that messy glue all over your skin, then I'm gonna give you some of my tips on how to avoid that. Tip number one is where you're applying the glue on the nail. I always recommend using a brush on nail glue, not a cement glue, not super glue, and try to avoid tube glues. The reason I like brush on glues better is because you can get a nice, thick, even layer of glue and you can actually control a little bit easier where you apply the glue onto your nail than you can with these tubes. These are just not accurate and they're not user friendly. So when I apply my nail glue, I always apply it to the press on first and I will hold it like this, and then I don't put glue at the top so it doesn't get on my skin. So I will put the nail glue on the bottom half of the press on and I do a nice thick coat and I get all the way to like the edges, the cuticle, like all of that, okay? Then when you go to apply it to your nail bed, keep it in like a big square towards the center of your nail, because that way, when you go to press the nail down, you're not gonna have as much glue on the edges, so it hopefully won't all squeeze out onto the sides of your skin. And since you applied the nail glue on the edges of the press on, it'll still get glue right up to the edge of your nail bed without pushing out. The problem is if you put glue all over like your nail bed up to the edge and on the press on, there's gonna be too much glue at the edges, and that's what can cause the seeping out of the glue. Tip number two is not applying hard pressure when you push the nail down. So when you go to apply the nail, you always wanna get it up against your cuticle at a 45-degree angle and slowly push it down so that the glue can spread out evenly to the edges and all over the area. And then when you're holding it, you wanna make sure that you're holding very, very, very lightly. A lot of people think you have to push really hard in the center of the nail or like just all over really hard, and then that's what pushes all of that glue out. You wanna keep the glue under the press on, so you're really just holding it in place so that it doesn't move and has just the slightest little pressure to bond to your nail bed.